Our team kind of organically formed with the different doers on campus who really want to see change. And I think it's the right team to make this happen because we have the right cross section of people. We have our school counseling department, our admin department, we have the district office level support, we have a support from our wellness center. And so we have everyone in the room who can make a change and make it happen once we make that action plan. For us, this was something our school was already focused on. It was part of our LCAP goals. And this was the right.
Our aim is by February 2023, we will achieve a new median score of 3.89 for students who self-report earning mostly D's or below in the key measure of belonging and peer collaboration.
Sorry. Go.
Our aim worked really well with what we're already hearing and seeing with students. And so this year we really have focused on creating safe and brave spaces for students to be able to share their experience from their perspective. And to do that, we've created a wellness youth council for students to advise what they feel is important on campus. And counselors have really been focusing this year on figuring out the best ways to communicate with students in ways that are meaningful.
So in terms of our next steps, we want to make sure that we schedule more regular meetings. We've got our first meeting already scheduled for August to just help keep us on track. We're excited to continue to build the collaboration between the Wellness Center and counseling to help address student sense of belonging, as well as we plan to poll those that had D's and F's and conduct empathy interviews with them. And we're excited to collaborate more with the boys and girls.
So our team is made up of different members of our school community, including our counselor, student support coordinator, special ed and regular ed teacher, and our principal. And the makeup of the team really helped us in the work that we're doing. Everyone is committed to action. This was a team made up of people with different personalities, but we all got along really well, which made it easier to get the work done.
We honed in right away on areas of improvement and had to hit the brakes a bit to focus on the things we did well. Focused on 7th grade students and on the question, do you really feel part of your school's community? There was a huge discrepancy between 7th and 8th grade responses. Students were coming in very green, and the social maturity was not there due to COVID, the new campus, and the setting. This question encapsulated links to other measures. A sense of belonging is what we wanted to improve.
One story we have about the work the team did this year is about the step we took already to incorporate 7th graders into our school community before the beginning of the school year next year. So we were able to bring them onto campus for a game night, pair them with current 7th graders who will be 8th graders next year, and work with parents in the multipurpose room to give them answers to their questions. Super positive. We encountered a few obstacles that we wanted to overcome pretty quickly. The main one being making sure that staff were all on the same page and moving in the same direction around the Youth Truth results. And so we dedicated 3 full staff meetings to examination of the data. We used StrengthsFinder results about our staff to group staff together and gave us structure for examination of the data to help staff. We were really excited to meet and partner with representatives from Community Matters and are particularly excited about being able to implement a Safe Schools Ambassadors program on our campus starting this fall with Community Matters. We feel like there's an element to student involvement in belonging and partnering with each other that was missing that they will be able to support.
Our team is consisted of various staff members that are working with students in different capacities, such as site administration, teachers, instructional assistants, others that are supervising students. We also have help from our district administrators that are dealing more with big picture with our district.
Student aim by February of 2023, achieve a new percentile ranking of 60th for all students in the key measure of relationships, specifically for how the question, How many of your teachers believe you can get a good grade if you try? In analyzing our results, our staff aim is, by February 2023, achieve a new percentile ranking of 48% for all staff in the key measure of professional development and support specifically for the prepared questions. I receive regular feedback from my supervisors and colleagues. I think this year has been a very unique year for all of us. We came out of COVID without knowing enough information of what our students suffered, trauma they endured, and how they were going to return. I believe that with this particular team, and in all schools, that was the obstacle we encountered. What's been most helpful is that the Youth Truth Survey provides us direct steps on what to do next. So one of the beautiful things about On the Margins is that they are able to help our staff and our community really reflect on our current practices, our own biases, and how our actions are impacting our students. So with this partnership, we're able to grow within ourselves, but also for the benefit of Roseland's educational system.
We are a family, and your thoughts, wants, and concerns are important to us. The door is always open. We can't educate the next generation of doctors, lawyers, and entrepreneurs without your support. Junte.
Our Oak Grove Union School District team was comprised of our site administration from Oak Grove and from Willowside, also our student body president, BJ, and our Dean of Students, Sarah Wilmarth, and our school counselors from Oak Grove and from Willowside, as well as our superintendent. These were amazing team members who have leadership roles at the school. Having a teacher missing and a support staff missing was missed, and that is definitely a recommendation for the future.
Willowside Middle School chose 3 aims for the Youth Truth Aims in May of 2022. Our first aim is our family engagement aim. Our second is to build relationships. Our third is to improve culture. After sharing our potential aims from our SCOES team data dive, we collaboratively narrowed down and ultimately chose our aims with staff input and came from our grade level, support staff, and faculty meetings. A hopeful next step is now that we have very targeted aims, we are working together to strategize action items related to our goals. We look forward to community partnerships to support our next steps.
Santa Rosa City Schools is proud to have a team gathering where we're combining people from teaching and learning, multilingual services, social and emotional learning, the CTE group, and with an executive director in the house, we're happy to have collaboration with our community partners and examining our data to see what perspectives we may not catch ourselves.
Santa Rosa City Schools being very unique in the fact that we have about 24 schools within our district that consists of elementary, middle, and high school, we had to really focus on an overarching umbrella. So we really thought about our students, and the data showed that many of our students, especially our multilingual students, really are not showing that the work that they do in classes really helps them and they understand why it makes them think. So focusing on the question about the work that I do for my classes really makes me think is our overarching umbrella, so we can dive deep into what that looks like at an elementary school, what it looks like for a middle school, and what that looks like at a high school.
Our students want to be seen and heard. We are working on student agency and are beginning to plan and work on programs and services that will impact the academic journey of all of our students, KA through 12th grade.
Santa Rosa City Schools has a lot of strong community and industry partnerships, whether it be looking at our work-based learning opportunities or how to bring in other community partners like 10,000 Degrees, for example. We work closely with a lot of outside agencies. However, I would like to see us work more closely, more intentionally with the Youth Truth data and making connections explicitly that way. I am very thankful for the partnerships that we have and can definitely see us growing.
In education, one of the greatest dilemmas that adults spend a lot of their time trying to identify what other people are learning. And in the Youth Truth process, we get the chance to re-elevate inquiry as the finest source of learning for ourselves as adults in the classrooms and educational spaces we
build leadership, we're starting to build ownership, starting with the core four, but then now it's spreading. So that's really where I want it to go, is staff developed and staff implemented. But kid input has really been more when they're in here during party time going, this sucks, like, tell us better. Teach us. This is what it is, we showed you. You all knew about this before we implemented, how can we do this better?
In looking at our Youth Truth data, we arrived at a focus for this project. We uncovered that too many students were reporting that they did not feel part of their school community. Additionally, there was a big discrepancy between our 3rd grade results and our 6th grade results, which showed a decline in a sense of belonging as the students aged up through the grade levels. And we really wanted to focus on what that was about.
Of all the kindness Old Adobe has shown me, one memory in particular sticks out. In 4th grade, one of my cats passed away. I didn't want to go to school, but the next day I went anyway. When I got out of the car, I started crying. These 2 kids in my grade walked up to me. They wanted to check if I was okay. They weren't my friends, but they walked by my side until we reached the classroom. And 2 years later, I still remember that. And I believe that regardless of who you are, teacher, student, that at a time of need, any member of this school would be there for you.
I am glad I got to go to this school. People have supported me so I can live my dreams in the future. I believe that if you work hard enough, you will always have a reward. Old Adobe has made me a stronger person by telling me to value friendship and appreciate the opportunities in education we have. To me, Old Adobe isn't just a school, but a community. My time here may have ended, but now I am moving on to a new journey.
We love working with On the Margins, but the timing was a challenge. We're hopeful that next year we can continue our work with the organization and bring in the storytelling aspect, the stories of self, which we connect with student personal narratives and poetry that we do in 6th grade. And we also see a huge potential for activism. We're an arts and ecology charter, and so the potential for activism is endless.
That the survey and the data, I think it's going into a positive direction, in my opinion. It's been an adjustment piece, but that kind of fuels what we're trying to do in terms of like reevaluating, reinventing, almost like reinventing our identity as a campus.
The Youth Truth data showed that there was higher engagement in the WPL and CTE courses, so we decided that we would try to incorporate some of that into the other courses. Some photos come to mind, but I didn't put it in there. Like I was thinking about Fabian.
Yeah.
And Fabian, typically in the science courses, he wouldn't be as engaged as much. He was more of a hands-on, great helper, great collaborator. I actually have a picture of him taking care of the tower gardens. He's not even in class. And he's smiling because he's working with the chemicals and getting the nutrients they need and stuff.
Data, and we were able to kind of crosswalk and see, like, okay, these are the areas that are being highlighted. But particularly, our 10th graders are responding, saying they want to be explicitly told how to go into college and career. You know, not just like, here's a poster and here's this opportunity. It's like step by step. So we're looking at that. Our A through G scores are at 35%. So we're using that grant. Grace is moving into a position that's going to be grant funded, primarily focused on increasing our A through G participation, connections, and engagement. And so we started a process of having them survey, similar to what you did in Register, with our leadership team, where they have them survey, you know, was this class worthwhile? Did I want to stay here the whole time? These kind of questions.
I think the surveys that we've been asking for, like the ones we're using in our classroom, but then also the one Grace sent out about the career connections, just listening to our students' experience and not discounting it and actually doing something